Welcome to another edition of Cut the Chat. I'm the sexy dread with the lisp. To my left, it's not the slim one anymore. Femio.
What's happening?
How are you?
Well, sir.
Stop there. To my far right, sexy slim doggy.
Coolie, Egyptian, Spanish, Guyanese, light to dark.
And next to Lee, my favourite teddy bear of all.
What's going on? Ace Wagwan.
What's happened to your voice?
I don't know, it's late and stuff and I'm tired, but
A
little bit hoarse, them ones.
Yeah. And in the centre, the big man himself,
Done no!
Mr. Rodney P.
Yes, sir.
Oh shit.
Welcome.
All good, my brother.
Thank you very much for blessing us
Yeah, man, thanks for the
with
invitation.
your presence.
Yeah. I was particularly excited about having you on the show.
See?
You're a hero of mine, without sounding like I'm deriding. But you are a hero of mine, so I'm very happy that you're here. And we've worked together before and I'm just very happy. I'm a hip hop fan from birth.
Alright.
So
I knew that already, though.
You knew that
Yeah, I
already.
knew that already.
So first time I ever saw London Posse on the TV was during like your MTV Raps. So I used to run home from school every day at 5 o'clock to watch it because it used to come on half an hour on MTV. And there was this one time when just randomly there's this like 10 goons outside Big Ben.
Yeah.
Like it was
How's
like
Life in London
How's
video.
Life in London video. I was like, raw, this is us. This is us, and it was just like it was this grimy, nothing like I'd seen on MTV before, because obviously I was used to like the old school hip hop, the 90s hip hop, Das Effects, Redman, all that kind of stuff. And you guys just, do you remember that time? And how
I
like
remember, it was good times, bro,
was it
yeah.
difficult to get on MTV, or was it easy?
It was a lot easier than it is now.
Really?
Yeah, and they were looking for content them time there. Yeah, it was a lot easier then. And MTV was more about playing music videos then.
Right.
Now MTV is more about programs.
Of course.
You know, 16 and pregnant or whatever it is now. But them times it was more about playing music videos.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a lot easier then. But it was still like a breakthrough moment for us. Because we were early, like there weren't that many UK videos getting played. So it was definitely a good time.
In terms of hip hop, I don't think there was any UK hip hop videos being played really. No,
I can't, off the top of my head, I
Yeah.
can't think of any, but
Yeah.
I'm sure there must have been. Like maybe Black Radical might have had a video because he
Right.
was signed to Ireland, so maybe he had a video that was getting played.
Yeah.
Maybe there might have been a couple, man. There was Derek B and thing. Like,
Yeah, but those rappers were like not like you lot.
yeah, they weren't like London Posse.
Of
though.
course
we were
not.
doing the London thing. We were representing the Mandem, like where we come from, like setting up a different kind of style. So. Yeah, for what we were doing, there was only us at the time anyway, so there was no one else could have had a video doing that, because there was only us.
So for the listeners, what were you doing? And
Oh, for the
so the
audience, sorry,
for the
because
viewers,
I'm
what
we're
were you
talk, some old boys,
Yeah.
Like, I was in a group called London Posse. London
Okay.
Posse is credited as being the first UK hip hop group to actually rap in English accents.
100%.
You have to recognise that before we came out, we put out our first record in 1986. Before that, everyone in the UK rapped with a fake American
Say that
accent.
again,
1986. I put out our first
That was
record
when I
in
was
86.
born.
I went
in
on
fact,
tour that year.
I was born on the last day of that year, so I was just about born on that.
See,
in that
I went
year.
on tour that year, bro. I went on tour. So, yeah, I've been here a minute. I know I carry it well. Good but yeah, I've been here a minute, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, like you said, no one was rapping with a London accent back then.
No.
So what was it that made you guys say, "No, this is not real to us"?
There's a couple of things. Really, my generation, we all grew up in sound system culture. Box boys carrying boxes into dancing and going dance. That's where we grew up. In the dance at that time, it was all about, the UK sounds. There was the traditional sounds, the Coxsons and your Tubbies. They were Jamaican sounds, But then there were sounds like Unity and Saxon, who were young UK sounds. Who were saying we're UK and we're black from Jamaican parents, but we're not Jamaican, we're UK blacks. They had that mentality already, and we kind of took that mentality and put it on hip hop. And partly one of the big things was going to New York. Like, we went to New York, we did a tour in 86. Went to New York at the end of 86. And it's not even then, but like, you realise being in America, rapping with a fake American accent is stupid, really quickly. And then when you say, all right mate, excuse me bruv, where's the sweet shop? Where can I get a packet of Rizla from? Excuse me darling. It's like, oh, y'all talk funny, y'all strange black people. Like, that was the attraction. So it just made sense. Those two things really cemented. We always had the idea when we got together as a group that we wanted to do hip hop reggae because we're from England, so that it's supposed to sound different. But we hadn't worked out how to do it yet. And it was that final trip to New York that really cemented, all right, we need to like really just do it how we do it. You feel me? So.
Was it always hip hop? Because I know, like, obviously into like early 90s, jungle was the main thing, innit?
Yeah, I do jungle too.
Oh, you did say
I do
you
jungle
did
too,
dabble.
but I'm a
in
hip hop kid.
Right.
My thing is like, I do Rodney P, and I'm a hip hop fan. I'm a jungle, I'm a Londoner, I'm a raver. I like garage and two-step house, and I like all of them things. And I can touch all of them things, but I do it as Rodney P, the hip hop kid. What a lot of men do is they jump ship, turn bandwagon, and start chasing things. I don't chase nothing. I'm doing me. This is like my therapy, so I do me because it keeps me sane. I'm not doing it to pay my bills, although thankfully it pays my bills now. You get me? But it hasn't always paid my bills. That's been part of the good thing and the bad thing. A lot of men put all their eggs in this thing, and when it crashes for them, they crash. But I did hip hop as a love thing first. I had other ways to make money. Different ones I did because I love doing it. There was a transition. Now I can make money doing this, but it wasn't always that. You get me? So I've been thankful. I'm thankful for the opportunities that I've had and I've taken, and I'm still there. Look how much years later, 30 years later, I'm still there.
I've only ever seen like you guys being praised for being London Posse. Was there ever any backlash in the early
They
years?
hated us.
Who
They
hated you though?
The UK hip hop scene.
No way.
Certain man who's on the
Seriously?
scene
No
all now.
way.
Certain
No
man
way.
who's on the scene, or certain of your favourite rappers.
Seriously?
Listen,
Why?
because we don't want to hear that reggae shit. They used to call us swampers, because we were like the reggae youth then. Like, we were the road man. Like, we brought like, they talk about the road thing. Really, London Posse brought the road thing to hip hop. But not in like, we were out here robbed love, well, we kind of was, but like, but you know, but we brought the reality of what the road life was like. You get me? And we had reggae music in it. Now, the die-hard hip hop fan of the day, hip hop's supposed to sound like it comes from America. Remember, everyone's rapping in a fake American accent, except us. Everybody, except us. But we got a record deal, so everybody get to hear us. You get me? So, you know, so yeah, they didn't like us. We weren't universally accepted by the UK hip hop scene. You don't want to hear that reggae shit. This is hip hop. Our first audience was, we went on tour with a group called Big Audio Dynamite, which was Mick Jones from a band called The Clash, which was like at one point was the biggest band in the world.
The Clash,
The Clash, punk group. They were the biggest band in the world. When he left that band, set up this new band, Big Audio Dynamite, we went on tour with them in '86. I was 16 at the time, just fresh off a YTS scheme. And the initial audience that we found was people into like ska music and like two-tone music, because they understood the English accent in the music already. So that was our initial audience. Then it was selling it to the hip-hop kids that came later. But because we were good, and man could, we could rap good, you understand? You can't tell me nothing. So the argument, if you look now, it's 2015 now, all of them rapping English accents now. So I guess we won the argument. But it was an argument. It wasn't like I say, it wasn't universally accepted, and there was a lot of years after we came out that the majority of UK rap was still in a fake American accent. But the ground had started shifting. Yeah, because we were right.
We're right.
How many of you? How many of you was in London Posse?
Me, Bionic, Sipo, he was the human beatbox, and kind of the group really formed around him. DJ Business, that was the London Posse. Early days we had two dancers in the crew as well, Basil and Will. Like them days, early days, if you're a hip hop group, you need a DJ, you need a couple dancers, and you need a human beatbox. That's the hip hop team. When you're performing, you need these elements. You get me? So we had all of those elements. We was a hip hop group. It was a London hip hop group that grew up on reggae music. So it sounded a little bit different, but the ethics was straight hip hop.
Like, with you, the chemistry with you and Bionic, yeah? Like, what would you say either of your roles were within the group? Because when I watched How's Life in London the other day, and you just look like a madman. Like,
Me?
yeah, like you look like the scary one. Like, your face was screwed up for the whole video, and Bionic just kind of looked like. Actually, I don't know, like,
Bionic's the mad one.
was he the mad one?
Bionic's the mad one, yeah. No, I mean, listen, we were young and doing our thing, innit?
Yeah.
But really, I would say blatantly, them times, Bionic was like my sensei. He was a couple years older than me. On the MC level, I just thought he was the best MC I'd ever heard. You get me? Like, I still think that. I think Bionic's the best MC to come out the UK ever. And I know Bionic lyrics that man ain't never heard. That I just think, they can't even write them bars. No, you understand? Like, that youth has got lyrics. He's got lyrics. And like, musically he's diverted and he's doing other things. But as an MC, that window of time, man ain't no way ain't messing with Bionic. So he was the MC that I looked up to and helped me formulate my thing. We don't sound anything alike as MCs.
No, not at all.
But he's a youth that gave me the confidence to say, go on and do your thing. He gave me that confidence.
So he still makes music?
Yeah, he's doing his music. Yeah. He still does
You
music.
guys do anything together?
I would love to, you know.
Yeah.
I'd love to. I'll put that out there straight. I would love to.
Okay.
But it's just, you know what I mean?
When did the band kind of disband?
When did the band
The band.
disband?
Yeah, early 90s, like mid-90s, not even early 90s, mid-90s, and it just kind of wore out. There was never a day where we said, you know, this is done, I fucking hate
I was
you.
going to say, why did it?
Yeah,
why?
it just kind of wore out and we was drifting in other directions and the hustle got hard and the sound of the music was changing. And like I said, I'm Rodney P, I'm the hip-hop youth. I do this hip-hop thing. I do drum and bass and all of these other things, but I do it as me. And I wasn't really like, Bionic was doing more work with Stevie Hyper D them times, like rest in peace Stevie Hyper D. And he was drifting more into the drum and bass thing. So it was just time really. It wasn't like I said, there was no big argument or falling out. It just kind of wore out.
Being able to say that you are definitely one of the very few that started this hip hop thing, this UK hip hop.
I wouldn't say started the UK hip hop thing, but was the first to bring the UK accent to it.
Early though.
to-
You were
Early,
early.
that was early. Yeah,
to
that was
the
early.
masses.
Yeah.
What do you think of it now? What do you think
What,
of
UK hip hop?
Yeah, UK hip hop now.
As an older, I think it's good that you have to embrace the new sounds, the new styles, the new technologies. When you say UK hip hop to me, I think might be controversial to a hip hop purist, but I think like grime music is the purest form of UK hip hop. I think there are other styles of hip hop being made in the UK, but hip hop for me is like when you make it the indigenous sound. Like grime is the sound of hip hop that only could have been made in the UK. You know, a lot of grime man may say, "Oh, I'm not to do with hip hop." Actually, you are, whether you realise it or not. You know, so yeah, I think with a diverse listening ear, I think the future for UK hip hop and all of the stems that branch off it is bright. If Skepta goes and has a #1 record, which is a possibility the way he's hustling hard right now, UK hip hop succeeded.
See that?
I'm gonna take some of the credit for that. And I don't even know that you there. You get me? Like, so.
No, but this is good because a lot of people would never even put that in the same sentence.
I connect the dots here, bruv. And for me, all right, the hip hop thing, we're saying hip hop, but really we could take the hip hop thing and say the reggae thing, and that's the blueprint that formed the hip hop thing, and the grime thing is taken from the same blueprint. You know, like if you look at hip hop in America, New York hip hop don't sound like West Coast hip hop because the environment's different, sunshine environment compared to inner city environment, different sound in hip hop. Come to England, hip hop's supposed to sound different. Like your generations are different, your history is different. We live in grimy housing estates. It's supposed to sound different.
So
it's supposed to sound like grime.
So then what? Okay. So what is hip hop then?
But listen, I never made grime music, and I made hip hop music.
So what is
But here's the thing. Same thing with London Posse, yeah? When we came, we were like, well, for us, we need to make hip hop that sounds like us. So it's not going to sound like what they're making in the Bronx or in Brooklyn or in Miami. It's not going to sound like, it's going to sound like how we feel like it should sound, which means it's going to have some reggae in it, it's going to have different bass lines, we're going to ride the rhythm a little differently. That's what we brought to the table. That was us saying, let's try and find a sound and a style that is unique that could come from here, but we still use the traditional hip-hop blueprint. Going down the road now, these kids have found a whole new sound because 20 years later we've had drum and bass and we've had techno and we've had all these different sounds and technologies that can make new music. Embrace them and find a new sound. If you listen to the very last London Posse record, it's a record called Style. You can look it up on YouTube. It's a record called Style. If you listen to the sound of that record, it's probably closer to grime now than it is to hip hop then. You know, because again, we were kind of ahead of the curve, not to mean to pat myself.
But I was going to say, when was that?
That was in
record made?
1996, I think. Check it on YouTube, bro, and listen to this. But it's because we had just come through drum and bass, and there was new sounds, so we're thinking of new syncopations. It's not just about James Brown loops, and I love a James Brown loop. I love a funky drummer. That's my backbone. But there's more. There's more, and I think like where we are now in the UK with the grime generation, they're pushing. There was a time when grime came out, I was cussing. So shit, they ain't got no lyrics. All they do is chat the same lyric round and round and round. You understand? But now, some of the best MCs in the UK come from out the grime scene.
100%.
Their man got bars now.
100%.
That shit, like, they're on top of their thing now. So we have to give it all due respect and say, yeah, go on and push. It's about pushing. They are pushing. So
How important was it for you guys to make a mark in the States? Because it's like all I seem to hear now is are they gonna accept us in the States?
It was important, but it wasn't that important. And part of it was I used to go States. I've been going States somewhat from when I was young.
Yeah.
I've been out, we would do shows, we would work out there. But the one thing about London Posse is that we always were performing globally. We was going to Japan. We was going to Zimbabwe in the 90s to perform in the stadium. We were going all across Europe. So we recognised from early that that ain't the only marketplace. The same time we were like the biggest rap group in the UK, we were selling more records in Germany and in Australia. Because they were into the UK rap thing different them time. They never had their own scenes built in the same way they have now. German and the French scene weren't built up in the same way that they are now. There became a point where they weren't looking to England no more. They had their own thing. But there was a window when we were big artists in them territories. So we always knew that it's not just America. It's not just America. And from going to America, I know America don't look outside of America.
That's my point. Like, how do you feel about a lot of the UK artists? It's like they really want that American coastline.
There's nothing wrong with wanting it. You want that coastline. You want to be official. You want to know some man in Brooklyn raped my hip hop thing, innit? So I understand that. I understand the attraction, innit? But as on a business sense, you have to recognise that ain't the only marketplace. But as an artist, of course, you want that. You want your peers to say, yeah, you're official, you're in the thing. You come Mecca and you put on your robes and you get blessed, innit? Like, so I understand the attraction.
Are they gonna accept it though in the States?
I think eventually it can run.
Really?
Because it only takes a tune. And
you don't think we've had that tune? Because I think we've had big hip hop records from the UK.
Not that broke in America. And it's not just having the tune. It's having it plugged into the machine, isn't it?
Right.
You got to be plugged into the machine. You need someone who gets a record deal with Young Money and starts going on tour with Drake. Put Tiny Temple on tour with Drake. Tiny Temple will have hits in America. Put Skepta, the hot boy right now. Put Skepta in the right situation, in the right machine. Yeah, make Kanye take Skepta to America. Say where they took Estelle to America. I'm sure Estelle's eating right now. It's from a coastline. So. I don't think it's dead in the water, but I'm not chasing America. I just come back from touring Australia and New Zealand. I'm good. I know where my marketplace lies. But yeah, I'm always up and open for going to America and performing and trying to push my music as hard as I can because it's a huge marketplace. But it's just one marketplace.
When we talk about 30 years of touring, yeah, you must have some amazing stories, bro. You must have some stories.
I've seen some things.
They're like, what's one of the maddest things you can tell us without incriminating yourself? Or
That's the gonna be hard.
Boy, that's hard to just pull a thing out the sky.
Serious, but you must have seen some.
I've seen some things. I've seen multiple things. I've seen and done some things, bro. I won't say more than that. But like, you see, like when you're young, and you think, wow, I've done most of them things.
Right.
I've done most of those things that young men could say, boy, imagine if.
Yeah.
I've done most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good time.
Like, you see, this definitely. Yeah. But then it's just not a like party group life thing, but just generally like. I've been around the world a couple of times. I've been on safari. I've held crocodiles. I've rode with dolphins. I climb mountains and I've done things that this music has allowed me to do. So I'm thankful. I can't lie. I'm thankful. Straight up.
Was it easier to make money from music back then, or is it easier now? Would you say?
I would say a bit of both, man. It was easy then. They were like for us. You have to remember, like for us as London Posse, like when we started, for one, there wasn't that much competition, and the competition wasn't very good. So it was all right. We could stand out. So because we were doing something different, and the first agent we got was Mecca.
Right.
And Mecca owned everything. Every bingo hall, every nightclub, every disco. So we was doing 7, 8, 9, 10 shows a week, double them out. So money was making, we were good, but that shit didn't last forever. You know what I mean? And I think now, the fact that these kids are actually selling units, selling records, building careers, they're obviously making more money than we were making back then. But there was definitely a lot of money around it in terms of work. Being able to go and work and earn a P was a lot of work. Now it's like the same thing, you need to be plugged into the machine to really earn that high-end money. If you're a hustler, like I'm a hustler, like I ain't been in a major record company office for 20 years.
Wow.
I do my thing, innit? So if you've got an independent hustling mindset, then now is a good time because you can embrace the technology and have your record played across the world by tomorrow morning. if you've got your hustle running. So it's just like not everyone's built for an independent grafting hustle. Some people want to get a record deal, you know, have a manager, have some, you know, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not knocking that hustle. But some people just want to just do their thing, and there's room to do that if you embrace the technology and you're prepared to get up and graft a little bit.
So, how did you end up at the BBC? You seem like quite like on BBC.
Yeah, it's funny enough. Like, I'll tell you what happened.
You seem on BBC.
Yeah.
Like, you don't seem like you should have been at the.
Yeah, but when my mum heard I was in the BBC, she was happy enough. She was happy stuff. Fish out of fun with this rapping thing. What is rapping thing? BBC, she got to understand that. But it's funny. We were invited to do a pilot for someone else who was going up for a show in One Extra.
Wow.
I didn't attend. Skits attended. Met Jane Morris.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, yeah, Rodney P and Skits, you guys should come and do a pilot. When they initially asked us, we were like, well, I can't do that. I can't afford it. I can't do a radio show. I'm doing too much shit already. Thought about it. Thought, maybe we could do a radio. Maybe we could fit in a radio show. And we were like, that might make sense. So we went in and did a pilot, and they gave us a show. It was kind of, we were pretty much invited to come and do the show. So it was One Extra, innit? Early days of One Extra was revolutionary, innit? I can't stress enough. You know, you was there.
Grimy, man.
Revolutionary.
Nah, it was. The golden days, bro.
Golden. We were doing things. We were doing new things, pushing boundaries.
Proper.
Like, it was golden. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing. So, yeah, man, glad to be part of that, definitely.
Like, what do you feel like it's lost its edge? No
Listen,
shade,
my dog Ace is here now.
No, you gotta talk the truth.
No shade,
No, shit, yeah.
But I do feel like it's lost its edge. It's kind of falling.
It's a totally different station.
With what everyone else is doing. And when we were sitting acting, we weren't doing what no one else was doing. We were pirate radio on national airwaves. That's what we was. Now they're falling into line. Now they're Choice and Kiss and Capital whatever. And
Couple extra.
yeah, it's like it's a this glob of this same thing.
You feel like One Extra is like exactly.
Yeah, I mean there might be a slightly more room for a younger UK artist to be like they're supporting Stormzy and thing.
Hard, yeah.
Well, other stations might not have supported Stormzy in the same way. So we give thanks for the artists that they support, but they've lost their edge. Absolutely.
Where do you think? So as an artist now, do you feel like radio is dead for up and coming artists? Because it's hard, like, you know, like you
it's
say,
always been hard. Like that's
you
not
say.
a new thing though.
No, but yeah, radio's always been hard. But you know, like, do you feel where do you go if you're not a Stormzy?
Well, here's the
Stormzy's
thing.
at the top.
Yeah, here's the
of
thing.
the
Like,
Grime power right now.
everyone's always talking about, you know, you can do it for yourself. There's the internet, there's YouTube, and it's true. Those things are true. But the masses of people are still listening to normal analog and the new digital radio. They're still going through the same channels that they ever went through. And we've been plugged out of that shit. But we've always been plugged out of that shit. Always have been. Like, there's little outlets, you gotta get a couple of tune, might get true, but generally we're plugged out of that shit. My thing has always been, can we do our thing, innit? We need to set up our thing. Like, we need to have, instead of always bitching and moaning about shit, we've been plugged out again. They shut the door on us again. Can we go build our own building and have the keys to our own door? Like, and I don't mean that as no big revolutionary statement. It just means common sense to me. You understand? At some point, we have to do our own thing. How we do that, easier said than done. But that's what we need to be looking at doing, definitely. Because it is hard. It's hard for any kind of music artist, young music artist, not just black music artists. It's hard. If you make music and you want to get on the radio, it's hard. But it's harder for some than for others. And if we're making the music that we make, this black music that we make, it's even hard for us to get onto urban radio. You understand? So it's hard. It's hard. Straight up.
You had Westwood produced one of your early records, right?
Yeah,
Am I right?
he produced our very first record and he produced Money. Well, he gets credit for producing Money Man.
What was early
Wait.
Tim?
Yeah,
We never know.
Wait, no, not that. You said he produced your first record and gets credit for producing.
Yeah, well, I don't mean that as a discredit to Westwood. Our very first record.
Yeah, there's a little.
I'll break it down. Our very first record on Big Life, they gave us a list of people that we could get to produce the record, and the only way we knew was Westwood, and we knew Westwood already. Westwood's cool with us, so Westwood is credited as producing the first record with Business, DJ Business with a DJ. With Money Man, it was on Justice label, which was Westwood's record label. His partner Chuck New actually produced the record. Like, me and Bionic went dubbing there in Clapham Junction. The morning we were going to the studio and we bought a whole couple of tunes, caught the melody tune I think a Boy Blue tune. Certain little tunes that the samples that you hear in Money Mad basically. And we took them. It was on Harrow Road. Right, Harrow Road. Took them. They had a little studio set up. We said, yeah, we like this. Boom, 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 boom. Left, come back. Money Mad Riddim. That's how it was built. But really, it was Chuck New that built it. And Chuck New was a dude who used to work for Jive Records. Them times Jive Record had KRS-One, Cool Mo D, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. And he used to do all of their records. He used to mix and produce all of their records. So he's a known, thorough dude, Chuck New. Look like a rocker boy, skinny dude in a leather jacket with glasses, but the man don't know how to make beats. So.
What was early Westwood like? What was he like back then? Is he the same guy? The same guy.
I know Westwood for a long time. Listen, let me take an opportunity to clear up something.
That's what they love on this show. Opportunity to clear up things.
But no, over the years, because I know, and it might not be the popular thing for me to do, you know, because a lot of people like to cuss Westwood. I've cussed Westwood before. And I like, in hindsight now looking back, I have to clarify my position, because I feel like I have a clearer understanding of the emotions I went through in my relationship with Westwood. You understand? So, I grew up listening to Westwood. Westwood was my favourite DJ.
Everyone did.
Of course.
Yeah,
like
100%.
London Posse, a big part of the success of our career is down to Westwood. Fact. You know, it's fact. He championed us early days. Without his support, probably wouldn't be here having this conversation now. He's a big part of what brought us out to the masses. But what happened is, we all got older. And Westwood didn't get no older with us. So we all got mad at him.
Right.
You understand? That's what happened. Like, Westwood's target audience is 16 to 22, 24, whatever it is. And when we were 16 to 24, Westwood was our favourite DJ. We used to go arches in the box room. Blazing! You know about them rings. I know you got little grey. Alright, Westwood. He was the DJ. Trevor Nelson was in the back room for the little boogie thing, little lady. Yeah!
He's talking the real thing!
Alright, boom. So them times, like, Westwood. And now, man's 25, isn't it? Man's 26. Man's 29. How comes these Westwood rays are so young?
Right.
You understand? How come I'm feeling like an old man in the Westwood party? But Westwood's audience, he's doing what Westwood does, isn't it? He's playing to his audience, his target audience. So we're getting older thinking, shout Westwood, man, like, you're not supporting, man, you're not but Westwood's just doing his job. Playing to his target audience, a 16 to 24-year-olds. We all got mad at Westwood. He don't support UK rap, he don't, But actually, in hindsight, I wouldn't be here without Westwood. So he must have supported UK rap at some point. I think now, if we look at it, youths like Gigs and them youth there, Westwood's shown a lot of love to those. These Grime youths, Westwood has shown a lot of love to them. He hasn't always been what we needed on the scene. Can't lie, I'm not going to say he's been Mr. Perfect. He's made a lot of fuck-ups on the scene and done a lot of things that, he's a big dog pit bull now and all them something there. But really, we owe a lot to Westwood. As an old dude who's been there for 30 years, I came onto the hip-hop scene raving in Westwood clubs like Spats, which was on a Saturday afternoon on Oxford Street in 1980-something. Westwood's been there a long time, you get me? So a lot of those earlier rays of when Run DMC and all them man, they were coming in and the scene was being built, Westwood was behind a lot of that shit. So, you know what I mean? In hindsight, I like to take the opportunity to say, big up Westwood. You should have quit when you left Radio 1. That I'm not feeling the new Capital extra thing. You was king of the tree, bro. You should have gone, you know? But Westwood he deserves much more respect than he gets. And like I said, it's because we got older and got mad at him. But in hindsight, we should be able to look back and say, you know what, that brother has done a lot of work for this thing, and he has. Straight up.
I agree, man. Because I think it's difficult not to grow with your audience as well.
Yeah.
And he's able to just always stay for that 16 to 24 years. Like he always just. Like my younger cousins listen to him. Yeah, and my older cousins listen to him.
If you go and check the 16 to 24-year-old, they're listening in Westwood. They're doing exactly the same thing we done. Like, but we just got older, and we're like, wow, Westwood's so old. Westwood, but you know what? He's still entertaining for the youth then.
Trust me.
So he's doing his job well, isn't it?
100%.
Do you think it's a skill? Do you think it's a skill? You know, now that you say all of this stuff, you listen to like people like Jay-Z, Kanye West. Jay-Z talks about older stuff a little bit now, but he doesn't really. Like Jay-Z said the same stuff for like 14 albums, however many albums he's had. Literally. Do you think it's a skill like to actually remain in that space?
I think it must be difficult, man. To just like if your audience is 16 to 24-year-olds, and once those 24-year-olds get to 25, and you think, okay, I need to go to the next 6, and then you gotta find out what they're on and what they're thinking. That is difficult.
It's hard.
It must be
for
hard.
me as an artist, I've never tried to chase. I want my audience to come with me. Because I can't imagine me now having to rap to compete with Chipmunk, to be the girl with the sugar. I can't do all that. I've got bills, I've got babies. Can't. No, you won't see me in the club. Actually, you won't see me. If you see me in the club, I'm being paid to be there. I'm not coming. That's my reality. Yeah, be like. So I can't imagine trying to be, but there are lots of men who do that. That's build a career doing that. But for me, that was never a desire. I'm not trying to be that dude.
Something that we was talking about earlier, and before we started filming, just to change the subject slightly. It's kind of known that within the music industry, you know, you've got the groupies. You've got all of that stuff.
Don't get me in no trouble, bro.
No. I just, you know what, you're the perfect person to ask about this, because, you know, in the media of recent, there's been a lot of talk about legal highs. Right. You know, and I remember last year Carnival, the Carnival before, walking through Carnival, I'm just kicking pure of the balloon canisters, and I'm not anti-drugs. I just don't do drugs. I'm shook of drugs.
Can I just throw it out there first and foremost? Because I don't want no one to get like. I'm on a panel. If you don't do drugs, I need to throw it out. I've done enough drugs, like enough drugs. Yeah. I'm a festival brother. There's not many drugs that I can't say I haven't come across on my time. I'm gonna throw that out there from early, so there's no misconception. Yeah. But everything in moderation, yeah, bruv. Then things can kill you out here. Man have to know their limitations. I smoked weed my whole life. I know a man who shouldn't smoke 2 spliffs in a day, or they're fucked for months. You understand? So you have to know your limitations. Right, of course. I know a man who do cocaine, but you give them a spliff and they'll pass out. Don't make sense, but it's the reality. You have to know your limitations. And you see the legal highs thing, personally, if a man made it, he can make it in his kitchen, I'm not going to smoke it up with that man.
Because that's the thing, because I'm finding that a legal high today is illegal tomorrow. The government's just found out about it, right, we're looking at it. And as you said, there's the next man in his kitchen, all right, let's add a bit of this vinegar to it, let's add a bit of this, you know, this smelling salts or whatever else, and you got a next thing. Yeah. And that's why it scares me. And
hold on, can I just clarify one thing? I said as well, you know, I've done enough drugs. I've come across enough drugs too. But I haven't done them all, you know. I don't want to leave the impression that I've done like heroin and ketamine and all that. Don't get it twisted now, take time. So why I've come across them things, but, you know what I mean?
So why have you chosen not to do some and not the others? Because a lot of people that won't be as honest as you.
I'll tell you the truth, yeah? Like, I've never smoked crack. I know a lot of men who've experimented with crack as a party thing. I know a lot of men who smoke crack. When I was 13, I went to New York with my mum. And I see this black man and his wife get on the train. And the soles, he had no shoes on, but the soles of his feet were so thick. Like, you could have put a nail in it and he wouldn't feel it. Like, I saw crackheads. Like, that shit was scary to me. Like, crack. Nah. And it's the same like ketamine. I see these youths on this, like, what's the matter with these youths? What do they look like? So, it's not for me. Like, them certain things are not for me. I'm a party dude, so certain things are very much for me. You understand? But, you know, it's all, you have to pick your moments, innit? You have to pick your moments. But I'm not here to, like, wave no anti-drugs by now. I'm not that dude.
You know what I rate? You know what I love about you? That you're just there, innit? Like, I've done it. I'm not. You understand?
I'm not here for, like, you know what? People always say keep it real. I'm about to keep it real. Let's do you in it. Be honest. Keep it fair. If my mum asked me, when I was 12, my mum asked me if I smoked weed, I said yes, mum. I was in a restaurant at the time, so I knew she couldn't lick me. Yes! And I'm the youngest in my family, innit? I got 5 older brothers. Ain't nothing new under the sun. You can't lie to my mum. Anything you want to tell my mum, she heard it already. So that's my mindset. From my mum knows, I don't want business. You can't tell me nothing. Cause I'm it's my mumsy that I respect most. You understand? It's not the law. It's not the judge. It's mumsy. Like, what will my mum say? Yeah. You understand? That's the reality. So
what's new for Rodney P? What can we look out for? What's coming?
Right, a lot. I'm doing a lot at the minute. I'm doing this. I'm doing this actually. This is Under the Influence. Okay. Under the Influence. It's a documentary series that I'm trying to get done. 3 documentaries about UK hip hop, UK soul, UK reggae music. Okay. Each one through the eyes of an artist. The hip hop one through my eyes, and it's looking at what I found when I came onto the scene here, and shining the light back to say, you know, these are the people I consider the pioneers of this scene. When I came to this scene, these are the people who made it exciting for me to want to be a part of. Then it's looking at when London Posse put out our record, the influence that we left behind in terms of the UK accent, you know, so how that then went on and was being used in grime and drum and bass, and how that accent went on and, you know, influenced people later. Same with reggae music. I've got Tipper Irie who's going to do the reggae one. And I ain't locked in the soul music one, but I got someone very special in mind for the soul music one.
Omar.
There's only one person.
You know what? Omar's my key bridge, and Omar's definitely involved.
But he's not going to...
Oh, I'm going to send it out there, innit? I'm going to send it out to the universe, see what the universe thinks about.
Yeah.
I'd like to get Carl McIntosh from Loose Ends.
That's deep.
That's what I'd really like to do.
Levels.
Yeah, that's what I'd really like to
That's
do.
levels.
So,
Okay.
universe, come talk to you about it, innit? Carl, my dog, come did think for this stuff.
Levels.
And it's really about, again, it's the same blueprint. Who were the people that inspired you when you got here? And then looking at the legacy that they left. Like talking about Tipper Irie, the legacy he left is people like me. Like the blueprint that they set up is what we then took and went forward with. And Loose Ends or Omar, goes without saying, innit? We all done shake it. There's nothing like.
Fam, that was just in my head.
You feel me?
That
You got me hanging on the string.
Yeah.
Come on.
Carl
Come on,
McIntosh.
man.
Yeah.
So like, and these are stories like, it's all personal stories. These are stories that you ain't been told, that you ain't heard before. A lot of the times, as I was saying earlier, it's about connecting up the dots and seeing how they link. We want to leave it as a testament to say, if you want to know how this thing built and the journey that it took, this is what it is. You get me? So it's a lot. It's taken a lot of research, a lot of time, a lot of interviews. Thankfully, my brothers have been involved already still, and we're getting it done. Hopefully, we're getting it done. Top of that, finishing my album. My album's nearly done. So summertime, I'll have new music on the road as well.
Okay. You got a name for this album? Any?
Yeah, it's called Enough's As Good As A Feast.
Enough is as good as a feast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Enough's As Good As A Feast.
Who are you working with on the album? Is there
Various
names that we should be
people.
excited
Various
about?
people. Yeah, it's I got some things here. I got some things. Like not everything's signed off on.
Yeah.
I got John Holt's last tune. Before he died, he did me a vocal, and he's never done a hip hop tune before. So we had some plans to do some live shows and some festival stuff because he wanted to come out and be able to do his rebel music more than you know, the things my mum likes. You get me? So, but he passed, unfortunately, still. But I've got a version of Police and Helicopters. But he's re-sung it for me, and it's Police and Helicopters searching for marijuana, looking with their scanners. So we call it the Urban Ganja Farmers tune.
Right.
So instead of burning down the cane fields, if you continue to call the hydro, the police then will find you. You get me? Because of Police and Helicopters. So we reworked the song. So that's one of the things I got. I got a few bits, bro. But again, it's grown up though. I'm not making 18-year-old music. Hopefully, God willing, 18-year-olds will like my thing. But I'm a big man, isn't it?
Nah, because there's a lot of 18-year-olds that are like, John Holt, who's that?
Yeah.
Like, I grew up on him.
Little bit of research.
I grew up.
Listen to Pretty Dread. Ask your mum.
Do you find the youngers don't really do that much research? Like, they don't really, some of them.
Some, but they're no different than we was. So a long time we look at the youth, them and act like they're a whole new breed.
True.
It's the same. I know, man, there's man like me, where I grew up, like, I grew up in Battersea. Certain of my friends them was into hip-hop, certain of them wasn't into hip-hop. Certain of them got into hip-hop like me. I know everything about hip-hop. I know produce every tune, you scratch on it, like, I know. Certain men don't business, you know, this is why I shut their house on the weekend. Straight, and nothing can't change. It's the same now. Certain of the youth, them are really curious to know, and certain of them don't really do business. That's the reality, like.
We've come to the end of the show.
Yeah.
But we can't kick you out without asking you to bless us with a display of bars.
Okay.
Now, you are definitely one of the pioneers of this UK hip hop thing. So we're asking you for an old thing, a classic, and then something that we can look forward to, a new thing.
Alright, so our classic, so our London Posse lyrics then.
Educate these youths out there.
Alright, London Posse. We come to tell you about the ones that are bad. Cause through them gone money mad, boom. They see a living tech, they lick it and they long gone. Braids get stomped on, rough like Long John. Silver, could be a mugger, could a safe cracker. Could be a robber, a hitman or a computer hacker. To be a earner, you call him Earnerton. Couple gold rings and a fat piece of Earner Tom. Buckies are brandished in a raid, could a natty, could a fade.
Bank got sprayed and pounds was made. Missing the airways on a police receiver. Cause every masses got the money mad fever. Gone money mad. Gone money mad. Gone money mad. Yeah, big up Bionic Muscle. Yeah.
Big.
And then something newer. Listen. The future of the planet is brown. That's why they sun chase. Revolution's coming. I'm down. You see my gun face. Hey. I see forever in my son's face, and he ain't mixed race, he's mixed heritage, there's one race. Divided by religions and the creeds, and a need to believe and greed, we're bad breed, but blessed. And as the clock ticks, there's still time left to beat the buzzer with the full court press and impress, yes. But used to be when Sunday came, that was the day for rest. Get dragged to church under duress, we're in your Sunday best. Now Sunday come like all the rest, and we forget we're blessed, living in the West under the stress. Who's God's best? But Lord, forgive me, I'm trying. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't find the finer things inspiring. But my desire to climb up out of the mire meant I had to play with fire. But I desire a higher thing. But they ain't hiring. That's why I up and I hustle till I'm perspiring. Because I'm the guy that's trying to win. I'm on tour, hear me roar, I'm the Lion King. I'm the guy your mother told your sister, keep your eye on him. Cause he's a keeper. Riddim Killa for the people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So look for me, I've got things coming, I'm not done yet. My opportunity to bust the states ain't done yet. Ready for me.
Existential. Next level.
Go on.
Respect. Thank you so much for coming down.
Again, thanks for the invitation, bro.
It's been fun. It's been
You see, I'm a balling. Long time I don't rest up in the barbershop still in that.
It's alright. Hey, say bye to the people.
Why are you swearing?